Hello. You're joining us today, are you? Yeah? Okay. Just so we know. Fluffy co-host. Hello, welcome to SCR1 TNO Knitting Project podcast. My name is Sharon and I'm coming to you from Surrey in the UK, where I live with my family, 3 cats and a dog. One of the cats is currently in here with me, so we will likely putting an appearance at some point on the podcast. This is episode 15 and it is the 13th of April 2019. I'm recording on Saturday today because tomorrow is my daughter's birthday. Hello and welcome. Hello and welcome to any of my returning viewers, and hello and welcome to any new viewers. Thank you for checking me out. This is my podcast about the way I keep track of my WIPs on a 6-day rolling project. However, it's slightly going to go off project for a couple of weeks, and I'll explain more why as we go along. So hello, welcome. So quick bit of admin, we have a Ravelry group. If you search for SCR1 TNO Knitting Project under the groups tab on Ravelry, you should find us. It's myself and my lovely moderator Katie, who keeps track of everybody and is really good about replying, bless her. Thank you, Katie, again. So come join us, come say hi. We have a cowl going on at the moment, which is a kind of unofficial one, but official. I have a Penguono, and I have completely stalled on my Penguono, and I'll be honest, not knit on it at all this week. So yeah, I really have stalled on it. It's so close to being done as well. I just need a real kick. Lovely Hayley of Ducky Darlings Yarns is keeping me company. She has one. And she said she'd pick it up and start knitting, and then the losers buying cake moment is definitely going to be me, because it is definitely gone into the I will get to it at some point, but not today. Yeah, I need to get that finished. So we are running a little cowl. If you are knitting a Penguono, if you would like to knit a Penguono, then jump on the thread, show us your Penguono, show us how far you've got. WIPs of course are allowed. I have got the bottom welt to do and the front, the collar. That's it. I've probably got about 3 days worth of knitting, and I literally have completely stalled. It's not a fault of the pattern, and it's not a fault of, well, it's not a fault of the yarn dyer, my lovely friend Jenny of Woolly Goodness Yarns. The problem is I chose to hold 2 strands with mohair, and I have completely fallen out of love with mohair recently. So I've completely stalled on the mohair, and I'm hoping that having the cowl and maybe getting a few others in there might motivate me. So come on, let's see if we can get some Penguonos done. That would be cool. So I think that's it for my admin section, other than you can find me as SCR1 TNO, I forgot my own name there, on Instagram and Ravelry, and you can email me at scr1tno@outlook.com. So yeah, that's the end of our admin. Oh, except to say, no, it's not the end of our admin at all. Exciting news. We are going to run a proper cowl from the 1st of May, and it's going to be a scrappy project cowl. I've had this as an idea in the back of my mind for ever since Mina Phillips announced that she was going to do a mini club back last year, and I love, as anybody who's watched this podcast will know, I love minis, I love scrappy projects. So I wanted to run a cowl at the same time as she brought her club out. She announced it last week. I think it's coming out for the 1st of May. It is available now. So I am going to... Okay, small problem. Mike, the cat that's in here with me, is quite happy. He's curled up asleep. I have another cat trying to get in. I shall return. Somebody has come to say hello. Say hello, Demi. Sorry about this. Definitely going to be cat interrupted today, aren't we? So as I was saying, we're going to run a scrappy cowl from the 1st of May to coincide with Mina's patterns. You don't have to knit Mina's ones, it can be anything. I will hopefully be knitting Mina's ones. So if you've got a scrappy project, start putting it in. I'm going to say no cast-ons before the 1st of May, so no whips allowed, but I'm probably going to run it till the end of August. So you should be able to get quite a few in at that point. So yeah, so from the 1st of May to the end of August, I'm going to run a scrappy project cowl, and any patterns as long as they're scrappy. Basically, use up your leftovers, use up those beautiful skeins of minis that we all buy and look at and go, oh, I don't know what to make with them. Maybe some more news with that at some point. I'm waiting to hear back from a friend of mine, and I will give you more information as we go along. So yeah, I'm really excited about that. It'll be our first official cowl. I know we've got the Penguono, that's sort of an unofficial cowl, although technically that is also a scrappy project. There's probably no reason why you couldn't double dip, other than you'd have to start your Penguono after the 1st of May. So you could put your Penguono in the scrappy one and the Penguono thread, but you couldn't do it the other way around if you've already started your Penguono. But yeah, hey, I'm really looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to doing scrappy projects. I will put my rolling rotation of whips on hold from the 1st of May anyway, because I'm going into the summer season. Now my husband, if you don't know me, flies hot air balloons, and when we go into the summer season we have a lot of meets that we go to, and lots of things we do with the balloon. I'm really sorry about the cats in the background. No. We go to lots of meets and we camp, and as much fun as taking I mean, who am I kidding? I'm going to take all my knitting with me anyway, you know, I do, but the bigger projects I'm not going to take with me, like my mystery blanket. I probably wouldn't take that with me, so I will put it all on hiatus from the 1st of May, and it normally goes on hiatus from about the 1st of May to the 31st of August, hence that's when we're doing the cowl. So yeah, but I'll still have loads to show. It'll just be a different format to the podcast, really, but I should hopefully keep rotating until the end of May. However, even that's not guaranteed, but I'll get into it as I go along. So yeah, I think that's all of everything for admin this week. So day one is socks, and I have an FO. Well, actually I have two FOs. One, two. There are definitely two of them. There we go. These are my Easter scrappy socks that I am going to wear over Easter, and I absolutely adore them. They are made from an Easter mini set from Hedgerow Yarns, and between each colour change, so the solids are the mini set, so the blue, yellow, the purple, the cream, and then it's, if you see on the back there's a green and a pink as well. Between the colour changes I have got one of Jane's Hedgerow Yarns speckled colours and done a few rows between each colour change, and I'm so pleased with how these came out. I love them. So yeah, they're done, blocked, ends woven in. There's a picture on Instagram of me sewing in the ends. There are a lot of ends in these socks. I mean, I'm a willing end sewer. Ever since I saw how Ellie of Craft House Magic does hers, I've loved sewing in ends. Just love it. So I quite happily did it, but it did take me a whole evening to sew in all the ends, and that was just on one sock. So 2 evenings of end sewing, all I'm told. So yeah, they're my socks. Done on 2.25mm needles. They are on my project page in Ravelry, so I explain what I use for how many rows I do for each section on Ravelry, and obviously heel flap and gusset. I really like the way the heel flap turned out with the different colours. So very, very pleased with those. Very pleased. And my sock blockers, my sheep sock blockers. The ribbon's just on there so I can hang them up on my door to dry. But the sheep sock blockers are from Smirnoff Designs, and they are, I think they're something like £2.99 a blocker, so £6 for the pair, which I thought were really good. And it's got little sheep on it. Not that you can really see because, you know, they've got a a ribbon on their head. Yeah, really like those, really pleased with those ones. So that was my sort of first finished object, and then I have a second socks that I've cast on, and that's living in my Easter bag from Busy Pottering, which I'd completely forgotten I had until it turned up on a time hop from last year, and I looked at it and went, oh, I remember, I've got that bag. How pretty is that? A little Easter egg on the zip pull. And in here, when I went to Unravel, which I went to with the lovely Laura of the Lonely Knitter podcast, I got a cake of this lovely yarn, which is called Easter Treats, and is from Dragon Hills Studio, and the colourway inspiration was Cadbury's Mini Eggs, which I think we can agree that it pretty much nailed it. There we go, this is how it's knitting up. Isn't that fab? So yeah, that's the Cadbury's Mini Egg colourway. As you can see, I got down the foot. That was one car journey this week in the evening, because my sock knitting day this week has really been taken up with sewing in ends. But so yeah, really pleased with that. It occurs to me I now need to put a stitch marker on that, so I'll know where my progress is for next week, if I make any progress. I haven't got a pretty one. Let's just put a bulb one on for now. That will remind me I need to put one on. So yeah, that will show progress for next week. So yeah, I'm really pleased with those. So pretty. So I'm hoping I will get them done during the week, and then I'll have a second pair of socks for, because I believe Easter is next weekend. So I need to get moving with those. So yeah, so that's day one, socks. So day two is shawl day, and that's hanging out in my Marauders map bag from Duckpool Lane. Such a sweet bag, I love this bag. And I am doing the Shift Cowl by Andrea Mallory. But I know there's a few people that are doing this at the moment. It's a really lovely pattern, really enjoying doing it. And I am using my own hand spun. This is the first time I've knit with my hand spun. And this is some of the first skeins I made with my hand spun. So this is, I was there, I am now here. The rows are getting much longer. I wouldn't call this drapey. It's a bit more drapey than it was because it's a bit bigger. It's quite heavy though. It's going to be very, very warm because it's quite dense. I'm doing it on 4mm needles because I didn't want it to be giant, but it is quite dense and quite thick and thin. And I am using, so the main colour at the moment is the green. It's this green colour, and that is from Grace of Babbles Yarns. That was a braid that she dyed, a beautiful emerald green colour. And then I'm using this is a braid that I spun from Siobhan Crafts. It's kind of come out as a gradient, and that's really pretty. I think this is Corriedale. It's a bit scratchier than the other one, which was a merino, but it's still really soft, just a bit toothier. So that's my third colour, colour 3, and then colour 2 is this one, which is spun from the fibre advent calendar that I got from Siobhan Crafts last year. And it's got some sparkle in it at the moment. It's got some sparkle coming up. It's really pretty. I love this. I love how this, and it's so soft, so soft. I love how that's spun up. And that's a mixture of all different little bits of fibre that was in the fibre advent, and I spun it each morning. If you watch my Vlogmas, you'll see me spinning it, and then I plied them all together to come up with this. So that's the yarn I'm using. I think I may run out of some of the yarns because obviously being hand spun, the yardage is all over the place. And if that's the case, then I have got another skein of this one. Excuse me a moment, I think the cat wants to go out. Oh dear, cats. Right, as I was saying, I have got another another skein of this one, but I haven't of the other two. So I have, which you'll see in the spinning section, I finished a couple more skeins, so I will substitute them in. I think the beauty of this pattern is, as you can see, it's all different. I don't think you're really going to notice too much if I start adding in a different colour. And the colours I've got are in this one. It's sort of the pinky colour in that one, and a grey, so I think it'd tone in quite well. And obviously, as I said, I've got more of this one anyway. I've also got another multicoloured one which is quite similar to this, so the only thing I haven't got is the green. To be fair, once the green's finished, the green's finished. I will need to put something else in its place on that one. So yeah, so that's my day 3. Day 2. It's my day 2. It's my shawl day. It's going well today. Wow. Yep, love it. So day 3 is garment day, and as I said, I've completely stalled out on my Penguono. So I have cast on a new cast on, and that is living in my sheep bag. How busy pottering. It's a nice big one. It's a nice big sweater size bag. And I am doing the Understated Sweater by Hoki Locatelli, which is this one, and it's from book 6 of the Interpretations book, and it's a boxy style sweater with a fair bit of ribbing, as it turns out. And I have started it, and I'm knitting this in Stranded Dyeworks Flower Crown colourway. Now, whether you can see, it's sort of a grey with lots of different colour speckles in it. It's very pretty, and I will alternate skeins on it, but I haven't yet, as I've just started doing the back. Just the best way to show you. That's the best way to show you. This is the back, and that's a little, there we go, little progress keeper there by Hannah of Corner of Craft. Little Easter egg. So pretty against this. So this is the back of it. Let me take that out of there actually. You can see a bit better. So it's a really interesting construction. So this is the back, and it's just done the short row shaping across the back. Back to go into the stockinette stitch on the back of it before I pick up and do the front. And close up. So pretty. The yarn is so pretty. I love the yarn. I must admit, when I first got it and I saw it in the skein, I was like, not sure. I caked it up into a ball, and I was still a bit, not sure. But wow, when you see it knit up, it's just, you can't see on camera, but there's so much subtle colouring on it. Really looking forward to it. Now, this is actually turning out to be a giant swatch, because my lovely friend Kelly of Lay Family Yarns, which you know if you've watched this podcast for a while, she's my knitting best friend. She's just my best friend in general, to be fair. She is opening up a shop, and she needs some shop samples, and I offered to do her one. And I've said I will knit her, it's going to be for her daughter Megan, I'd knit her an understated. So, because I'm a perfectionist and it's got to be perfect, I'm going to knit one for myself first, which is what this is. So my idea is I'm going to knit the top of this, do the top, the front, okay, getting interrupted every 5 seconds today. So yeah, so I'm going to knit the front of this, the top of this, so the front, the back, to the point where you join the body and you're just going round and round and round in stockinette stitch. So I'm going to knit to that point with this one, and then Kelly's sending me some yarn to do her one in. I will swap to hers because I'll have made all the mistakes in this one, so that one hopefully will be perfect. It's also a lot smaller than this one as well. There is a big difference between knitting a jumper for me and knitting a jumper for her lovely tiny daughter. So yeah, see, this is a giant swatch. I have no idea if I'm getting engaged yet, just because I haven't hit the stocking stitch part of it, because, you know, that's the way I roll. I could have swatched the stocking stitch, but I didn't. Always swatch. I will swatch for Kelly's one though, definitely, without fail. If I'm knitting it for someone else, I will definitely swatch. So yeah, so this is my new needle cozy from Craft House Magic. Lovely Ellie. And that, I'll be honest, is the only thing I want to knit at the moment. So I apologise if next week the knitting project is just literally the progress on my sweater and the progress on Kelly's sweater, plus the fact Kelly, bless her, hasn't really given me a deadline because she's sweet and lovely and I love her to pieces. I'm going on holiday on the 9th of May, and I would like definitely to have got Kelly's finished, and so I can give it to her. And I would like, at least if this one isn't finished, to be able to work on this while I'm away, because if it's just going round and round in stocking stitch, it'll be great car knitting, won't it? And there is a lot of driving involved in our holiday. What I'll probably do when we're going on holiday is I might try and do like daily vlogs. Have you I don't know if you've had a chance to watch it, but Ali of Little Drops of Wonderful is doing April vlogs, and they're just brilliant. They have brightened up my day many mornings this week, although bless her, the last one she just got stuck in Sainsbury's car park for hours on end. Poor girl. I really felt for you, Ali. I don't know if you watch this, but if you do, I really felt for you on that one. Yeah, especially having no knitting. There is something to be said, isn't there, for always having that emergency sock in the glove compartment of the car, just in case. I got caught out last night, total tangent here. I went out with hubby yesterday and we were supposed to be back, and we didn't. We went out for dinner and we delayed and we didn't get back, and of course it had gone dark. Now I could knit a sock in the dark. Had I brought a sock with me? Of course I hadn't. I was like, great. So yeah, Ali, you and me both need to keep that emergency sock in the glove compartment of both the cars. Just saying, you know, hubby's car as well as yours. But I'm loving, if you're watching, I'm loving your vlogs. They're brilliant. So I might do that for our holiday. Where we're staying in some Airbnbs. There should be Wi-Fi, so I might be able to sort of upload on a daily basis. We will see. But yeah, so for the moment you're going to see a lot of this sweater, I think. But that's the back. So that's day 4 sweater. No, it's not, it's day 3. I'm keep getting a day ahead of myself today. This podcast is going to be the one where I can't remember a thing. In my defence, I had a very late night last night and I'm very tired today. I'm sorry. Oh, this is just going to be all over the place. I apologise now. I'm tired. Well, no reason to be tired. A friend of mine was telling me about her daughter and her 3-month-old baby who hasn't slept for 3 months. Now that's tired. This isn't tired. So yeah, that's the start of my sweater. So that is day 3, garment day. That horrible moment when you look up from texting your best mate on the phone. That was you, Kelly. I was messaging you back mid-podcast when you look up and go, did I remember to press record? Yes, I did. Now the sun's come out. Seriously, I have a studio light on and the sun's come out. Oh, it's definitely going to be one of those podcasts. Editing this is going to be a nightmare. I might just leave the whole lot in and go, yeah, this is the one with all the bloopers included. Right, day 4. Mystery cow. Mystery cow. Where are you, mystery cow? You're there. There is a cat asleep amongst my yarn. So day 4 is my small items / corner to corner blanket / mitts for Kelly that's all on hold day at the moment, and I've popped in it the mystery knit along that I'm doing, which is the Periscoping Sisters Mother's Legacy knit along. And last year when they ran their A Mother's Gift knit along, I was lucky enough to be one of the winners, and I've got this lovely project bag, a few other little goodies inside, and this gorgeous yarn from Hannah. Hold on, Hannah Makes. I've got her tag. Let me find the tag so I can do this properly. There we go, I've got the tag. Yeah, from Hannah Made It. There we go. From Hannah Made It. And it's purely merino. And it's this gorgeous pretty green. It's so lovely, isn't it? So, as it turns out, I'm going to be slightly short on the yardage of this. It's calling for slightly more yardage than I have. Do you know what? That is no longer an issue because I missed out an entire section of the first part of the pattern. I literally looked back and went, how did I miss that? I just jumped down a lot. It's got like a grid that you fill in, and then a grid, the next grid that you fill in. And I completely missed the first grid. I started on the second grid and I completely missed the first grid. So I looked at it, thought, oh, maybe I should pull that out and frog it. But then I thought, actually, I'm short of yardage anyway, so let's just leave it. And I have an inkling the way this is going, I might be wrong, that it's going to mirror image it. And if it does, I'll just leave the same section out later on. But I am going to show you what I've done so far. So if you're doing A Mother's Legacy by the Periscopian Sisters and you haven't seen Clue 1, or haven't done it and you don't want to see what it looks like finished, look away now and I will tell you when to look back. Okay, so this is, I'm not going to try not to describe too much of it. This is Clue 1 and I'm going to hide because I have got a slight bit of Clue 2. So that's where the stitch markers are. Sorry, bear with me, this is taking a little bit of sorting out. It's from there. So this is Clue 1. As you can see, it's really pretty. Really pretty. I love how this is working up. And here, where these sections are getting slightly wider, there's supposed to be a whole section in the middle there that's a transition between that one and that one. Yeah, that didn't happen. So as I said, I'm leaving it because I am slightly short in yardage anyway. It's got provisional cast on at the bottom. That's lovely. Now I have folded it over because I have started Clue 2 on the top. Now also with the prize there was a story that went with it, that last year Debbie and Amy went to EYF, and whilst on part of the trip they went to London, and whilst on the tube Debbie's ball of yarn rolled out of the tube door and got left on the underground. So they were making lots of jokes about the fact that there's some mice knitting on the underground, and they sort of based their theme last year around it. So there were some stitch markers, one of which is a little train, one of which is the little ball of yarn that fell off the train, and the other one is a little mouse. I don't know whether you can see that. Yeah, he's a little mouse. So cute. So it's a little mouse that knit the ball of yarn that fell off the train. So yeah, I'm absolutely loving it. This is another thing I only want to knit on. So next week, the problem with this is because I won't show you Clue 2 until Clue 3 is out. If you're doing this, by the way, and you're still watching or listening, you can look away now. I won't show you this again now until Clue 3 comes out. So it means I'll have very little content for the podcast next week if all I've got is this, which I can't show you, and a jumper that I'm knitting on. So I apologise in advance if that's the case. I'll have to find something more exciting to talk about at the same time. And these are that's my mini that I'm using. That's Hedgerow Yarns, one of her speckles. And that's the other one. This is knitting up really prettily, but I can't show you because it's in Clue 2. But it's beautiful the way that's knitting up. So yeah, that's the other thing I really just want to knit on. In fact, in hindsight, I should have taken that with me yesterday because I'm just on a straight section where I could have probably done in the car. Alright, yeah, so if you're doing that, you can look back now. That's done. So that's day 4, which is my mystery cow day. So day 5 is Mystery Blanket Day, and I'm doing the Mystery Blanket by Debbie Abrahams. And the April square, I've got the April squares. I've done none of them so far, but I won't show you them until the May's podcast anyway. So I've hopefully got a couple of days before I, need to worry about that one. So that's my day 5. Now day 6. Day 6 is my Scrappy Project Day, and that has a little rotation all of its own. And I am doing the Bits and Bobs blanket, my Hexie Puff Beekeeper quilt blanket, which I showed last week, and a Stitch in Time blanket. And this is a little finished object. It's a square from the Stitch in Time blanket that I finished this week. So I'm kind of pleased about that. And I know Kay says this on her podcast. Really good. That's Kay Jones's Bakery Bears. You don't watch their podcast, please do go and check them out. They're brilliant. Husband and wife team, absolutely fantastic. So yeah, she says that the great thing about this is when you finish, it does feel like you've finished a little finished object. So that's my square all done, and this is all hedgerow yarn. All of this is hedgerow yarn, the edging and the minis. So pretty. I am slightly concerned I'm going to run out of edging though. I may be limited to the size of the blanket by how much edging I've got, because I've got another one of these, and that's about half done. And I've only got about 7, I think, squares, big squares. So I'm slightly concerned. I suppose that would still be quite a big blanket, wouldn't it? 7, so it would be 14, 28. It'd be 28 sections. That's still quite big, to be fair, isn't it? But yeah, this is a single. I'm not convinced it's not a lace weight, but it's working. It's definitely a single. It's gorgeous, so pretty. So yeah, that's going around the edge of my blanket. I'm very pleased with that. So that's my day 6 Scrappy project this week. I also do a square on my Cozy Memories blanket each day. And I squared off this week as well, so there'll be a photo of it at the end of the podcast. So look at the colour of that. That's fantastic, isn't it? That is Nicole C. Mendez, and there's a pair of shorty socks I made for my daughter last summer. That one, I'm having a great debate as to who that is. I think it's probably Woolly Goodness. The only reason I don't think it's Woolly Goodness is because it's not as soft and squidgy as her base is normally. But it's definitely her colours, so not sure on that one. That is a little bit sheepish. That's from the Advent calendar in 2017. And then on this side, these are all from my Scrappy socks. So, hedgerow yarns, that one, and then that was the leftover speckle I had from the feet. The one I didn't have any leftover speckle from the legs. I used all that up, so that's the little bit I had left over from the feet. And as you can see, I ran out on the very end of that square. Just got a tiny little bit of purple on the end of it. That's so pretty. So yeah, that's my Cozy Memories blanket, and it's growing. I think my husband, who was watching me at the time when I was trying to take photos of it, decided he was going to count my squares, and I'd hit at the point at which I had squared off. I had hit 100 squares. So that's kind of cool. And it also means we're 100 days into 2019. Just saying. 100 and a few more now. 103 days now. So that's my Cozy Memories blanket, and that is living in a lovely bag from Busy Pottering. There might be a little bit more of an appearance of this fabric shortly. So yeah, that's my Cozy Memories blanket. So spinning, there's been like the last 4 episodes, I think, I've gone back in editing and gone, yeah, and where's your spinning section? Completely forgotten to put the spinning in every time. So I have 2 finished objects from spinning, and the first one is a braid from There we go, isn't that lovely? I love that pink braid. And that's from Siobhan Crafts, and was indeed a braid, and it's plied back on itself, 2-ply. And this has been washed and dried and is extremely, it's so soft. It's like a cloud. I'm so pleased with this one. I mean, there is a bit of can you see that? I've over plied it there. See, it's jumping back on itself, and that's definitely underplied. In fact, that's underspun, never mind underplied. But those bits are getting less and less each time I spin now, and I'm so pleased with that. So that I'm going to possibly put in my shift cowl if I run out. Well, if I run out, I will definitely put it in there. It's just if I run out. And then the other one I've got is a much smaller bat, and this is from Siobhan Crafts. And this was a little grey bat with stellina. And I might undo this so I can show you. So I need some spinning lessons. So there's a few issues with this one. Number one, let's grab a. Can you see? You can, and if you're a spinner, you'll spot it straight away. When I plied it, it didn't really ply. And what went wrong? Whether I had the tension too loose on my wheel, but it's very, very loosely plied. So that's not great. And where is it? So here we go. There's another one. That is where I started to attempt a chain ply on it, and yeah, that bit didn't work. Definitely got a bit of a hiccup there, and I have to say the chain ply, once I got the hang of it, went really well. And I mean, it's definitely much more plied, as you can see there. Half of that's chain plied and half of that isn't, and that bit there is definitely plied. There's 100% plied, whereas that bit there, what happened with it? It just didn't want to ply on itself. But the whole point of me doing this tiny one was to learn to chain ply, so I'm not too worried that it didn't actually do what I wanted it to do. It's a good sample, and if I was really desperate, I could run it through the wheel again just to ply it up. I did get chain plying by the end of it. I had some decent, by the end of it was going really well actually. I kind of got a decent rhythm with it. It's also known as Navajo plying, I believe, chain plying. Because I have a loop bump, beautiful, in fact I've got 2 beautiful loop bumps, and they are they're a gradient, and I'd like to keep them as a gradient. I don't really want to barber pole them. However, I'm just doing this, I should do it on camera. I'm thinking, because my chain ply is not perfect yet by any stretch of the imagination, what I might do is, let's just show you that skein again while I'm chatting. What I might do is break it and spin the first colour. So take the first colour, because the way it comes, you can spin it direct from the actual bag it's in. So what I'm going to do is spin until I finish the first colour, and then I'm going to halve it onto 2 separate bobbins and ply it back on itself and keep the gradient that way. Whether I might keep it as a little set of minis, because if I can spin it before the end of the cowl, so before the 31st of August, I can count it towards the cowl. Obviously I can't win prizes, but I probably will stick a couple of finished objects up at some point in the chatter thread. That's the other thing I will say, is that there'll be 2 threads, one for chatter and one for just finished objects, which I'll lock so you can't chat in it. And obviously each time you have a finished object, post it in the finished object thread, but chatter, you can chatter away as much as you like. So I'll try and put what I'm doing into the chatter thread, then it won't make a difference. So yeah, that's my spinning, and that is going to lead straight into my acquisitions this week, because I had a lovely package arrive from Ireland. Now, you've probably all heard of Grace of Babbles Yarns. If you haven't, please go check out her podcast, because you're really missing something. Now, a little while ago, she bought a jumbo flyer for her wheel, but her wheel is a double treadle, not a single, and the flyer she got was for a single. Now, mine is a single, so I contacted her because we've got the same wheel. I said to her, you know, can I buy it from you, because I was going to get one anyway. And bless her, she sent it to me this week. And of course, because Grace is amazing, the flyer, there we go, couldn't come on its own. It had to come with packaging. And she sent some gorgeous fibre, bless her. Look at this. Isn't that lovely? So pretty. Now, Grace, I don't know if you dyed this yourself, but it's absolutely wonderful, and it's definitely going to be the next thing on my wheel, possibly with the jumbo flyer. But the thing with the jumbo flyer is you can get more on the bobbin. There is more space in this gap here, so you can get more on your bobbin, which will be great for my loop bump. So where I apply the two colours together, no, the one colour twice, so it's a double ply, a two ply, then the next colour, which I will two ply, I can ply onto it after this, so I can build it up as a gradient in one long gradient of little colours. Well, at least I think I can. I may not be able to do that, but that's my plan, and that's why I needed a jumbo flyer. So that's fantastic, isn't it? Thank you so much, Grace, for sending that across, and a bigger thank you for sending this gorgeous, gorgeous fibre, which I am definitely going to spin now. It's so soft. Oh, it's lovely. If you see Gabby from the Once Upon a Corgi podcast this morning, you'll see her cuddling her fibre, and I can kind of understand where she's coming from now. This is just so pretty. I absolutely adore it. So yeah, that's Grace of the Babbles Travelling Yarns podcast. Please do go check her out if you've not watched her, because she's brilliant, absolutely fantastic. So that's my fibre acquisition. So next up is my acquisitions. And the first one wasn't actually an acquisition. I was contacted by the lovely Nikki of So Beautiful by Nicola, and she asked me if she could make me a project bag, which I was so touched about, because I'm just a little fledgling podcast. I've only been around since January, and I was so touched. Such a nice thing to do. She sent along some stitch markers with it as well. God bless her. So cute. And this, she thought of me because of the cats, so it's really appropriate that they've kind of made guest appearances today. It's an animal print bag. It's really pretty. As you can see, I haven't used it yet. It's got a little cat there, which is lovely, and it's a lovely drawstring. So you know that sock I'm going to keep in the car project? This would be the perfect size bag, and also because it's got a handle, you could actually use it to knit and walk at the same time. So I think it's perfect for having the emergency sock in the car knitting. And perfect sock size, absolutely perfect sock size. Right. Fully lined, and if I can squidgy out the bottom, it's a lovely sturdy fabric. Stands up on its own, so it makes a perfect yarn bowl as well, which is also useful in the car. I love it. I love the paw print fabric. Also, I have a black cat, so you know, black paw prints, definitely. Love it. It's very well made, absolutely beautiful. So go check her shop out. Again, I will obviously link her in the show notes. I didn't mention that today. There are show notes in the bottom. Every week I spend so much time linking everybody in the show notes. Forget to mention the show notes. the show notes at the bottom. So that's her again, and she's also on Instagram. She's so.beautiful.by.nicola, Nicola. Beautiful, and thank you again, Nikki. That was so sweet of you. Brilliant, thank you. That's lovely. So yeah, so that was my Prezi, which I love, and I am going to put an emergency sock project together in there. Next is an acquisition. Now, this might be an April club, because I didn't actually look that up before and it's only just occurred to me. So if you're doing Bird Street UK's monthly club and you haven't had April yet, it could be March's. It's called Prince of the Forest. Now, the only reason I'm now hesitant to show this is because I found He Can Call Me Flower If He Wants To earlier, and I believe that was March, so I think this might be April. So I apologise if you have that and you don't want to see this, look away quickly now, just in case. But this is called Prince of the Forest. It's just beautiful. This is Mr. B's yarns. It's absolutely gorgeous. How pretty is that? Those speckles. So pretty. The other reason I think this might be April's is because it came with chocolate and I ate the chocolate. So yes, love that, absolutely love it. So that's their monthly club, and this is I think April. It might be March. Oh, it's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I'm very tempted to skein that up as my emergency sock project and pop it in that bag. Now, another thing I got was a little pin from Hayley of Ducky Darlings, and she was kind enough to send two and send one for the podcast. So this is going to go in for a prize at some point. I will put it in for the scrappy prizes. And Hayley, if you enter and you win, I will make sure I don't send you your own pin back, because that would be unfortunate. So thank you for that, Hayley. I'm going to put that in the prize bin, which at the moment has a skein of Homespun House in it, where I bought two by accident. So, and my other yarny acquisition is a kit which was sold with Busy Pottering and Sarah of, is it Scruffy Eco Yarns? Sorry Sarah, hopefully you've got a label in here in a minute. And this is a Hoggy bag. Now this bag is very similar to the missing bag that has my Matham shawl in it, and it's another reason why I'm really upset I can't find it, because I love this bag. So when Anne said that she was going to do this kit with Sarah, I was like, do you know what, I'm going to get it because I want that bag again as well, and the yarn is gorgeous. So she sent in a little wool wash bar. Looking forward to trying these actually. And yes, she's got her label on it. This is called Alder Cone. A naturally dyed yarn, 90% cotton, 10% cashmere, 50 grams, 145 metres. And it's got a little bone stitch marker, look at that. And this is the lovely yarn. So not sure what I'm going to make with it at the moment, but definitely going to do something with it. It's really pretty. I do like Sarah's yarn. At the moment I've got the next thing of Sarah's I'm going to cast on is the Cadbury's cream egg one that I showed you a couple of weeks ago. Might have even been last week. And then I found, sounds awful, but I found some minis that I'd ordered from Sarah, which are slightly rustic, and I want to make some stripy fingerless gloves for the winter in that. So I have plans. I have lots of plans. So that was that one. And then the other one is a couple of bags I got from Busy Pottering. This is lovely. It's puffin print. It's such a good size as well. It's such a good size. I'm going to sit back a bit. I'm not going to be able to get it all in the screen. Here we go. It's got a lovely handle on it. I do like a handle on a bag, because like yesterday when I'm in the car and I shoot out to, we pull up at the service station and I shoot out to the loo, I can't bother to grab my handbag, which is like normally buried under piles of other stuff on the floor. I just literally throw my phone and my purse in my project bag and just use this as my handbag to jump into the service station. So yeah, that's a beautiful puffin bag, and it's huge, and it's got a little notions case that came with it. Tell I haven't opened this yet. Thank you, Anne, that's lovely, thank you. Some more wool wash, and let's show you Anne's, there we go, Anne's logo there, busy puttering. It's beautiful fabric inside, a lovely bag, and she always has the place where I clip my scissors so that I don't lose them. Yeah, love that. So that's that one. And because I love this project fabric so much, it's a seaside bag, which I'm hoping to knit a Tegna. So here's a question, sidebar, as the Cozy Up Knits say. Podcasters out there, and I know there's a couple of you that watch me. Have you ever decided not to knit a project because you know you haven't got a hope of saying it on the podcast? Because there's a new one out by Caitlin Hunter. It's a colourwork crop, which I've looked at a couple of times because I think one of my daughters would like it. Oh, no clue how to pronounce it. So yeah, there's a serious question for any other podcasters that might happen to watch me. Laura, you're one of them. Would you actually not knit a pattern because you don't know how to say it on your podcast? Because I got pretty close with that one. But anyway, back to the bag, which is gorgeous. Love the bag. So yeah, it might very well house my Tegna, which I'm hoping to do after I've done these two understated sweaters. Oh, I've only just noticed that. Look, it's got Cornish pasty as a stitch marker. You see that as a zipper pull rather. That's brilliant, isn't it? And it's got stripy fabric on the inside, my good old zipper keeper, and Anne's logo. So love those, so pretty. Bless you, Anne. You normally enjoy watching my yarns, my acquisition segments for the new yarn, and it's all you this week. And that's it. No more yarn has made its way into my life this week so far. It's been a bit of a quiet week, to be honest. So one other thing I wanted to do was, you've heard me talk about my friend Katie, who's working as a moderator for me on the Ravelry group, bless her, and she's really good at it. And she's a relatively new knitter, but she's done lots of lovely socks, and she wants to get into knitting shawls. So I recommended her the Fuss Free Festival Shawl by Louise Tilbrook as her first one, and I wanted to show her what one looked like, so I thought I'd wear mine today. So here we go, this is it, and this is done in Hedgerow Yarns. This was my first ever skein of Hedgerow yarn, and I loved it, and all I wanted to do was knit something with it, and Louise had brought this beautiful pattern out at the same time. So it's not big. I mean, that's the deepest it is. Can you see? I can't see what you can see. That's the deepest it is. It's quite long. Keeps going, keeps going. It's quite long. And it's supposed to have a picot edging. I have no idea why I didn't do the picot edging on this, but I didn't. I did not do the picot edging. It's supposed to have picot edging on it. And I was saying to her about wearing it. Now, what I normally do is just literally pop it round my shoulders at the top. You can't really see, can you? Just stand up a minute. Just pop it round the shoulders at the top. And then I knot mine in the front. Just literally do a little knot on it. And it just gives a little bit of warmth around your shoulders, which I often find I get chilly shoulders. But it just breaks up your clothing, really. It just breaks up the detail. So it's long enough to do, sort of to do that with. I'll have it across the back. So there you go, Katie. That's a Fuss Free Festival shawl by Louise Tilbrook, and perfect for those 1 one skeins of something really special. Don't know what I've done, but now you can't see the top of my head. Oops. Right, life. That's the only other thing I've got left to talk about now. It's just life. Went out yesterday with hubby, and he's now got a new balloon, got a new toy to play with. A beautiful, our biggest balloon has died, bless it. It's been around for a while. So we got a new balloon and we went to pick that up yesterday, so that's fun. It's currently squashed in the back of our car, and I don't know what the weather's doing with you, but here it snowed this morning. Nothing major, just a few flakes, but it was like, why are you snowing? It's April, go away. So that's still in the back of the car and likely to stay there, I think, for a little while. I mean, funny story. It's my eldest daughter's birthday tomorrow. She's 25, bless her. And 25 years ago, I was in labour with her because it was a 36-hour labour. Yeah, it was a bit of a marathon one. And during those 36 hours, we had every bit of weather known to man, including a rainbow, a thunderstorm, and snow. So it's not unheard of it for it to snow on the 14th of April. Then on her first birthday, the year after, because that's how, you know, birthdays go, it was so hot we were running out to this chemist to buy sunscreen for the babies because they were getting burnt. April's funny in the UK. It can be freezing cold one year and absolutely baking the next. And yeah, today it's raining. I've had to put my studio lights on today. It's that bad. So yeah, we did that yesterday. The girls are all okay. Went to see Meg singing last week. There is a little clip of it on my Instagram. I can't put it on the end of I'd love to put it on the end of the video, but because YouTube, I don't know whether anybody knows how this works, but apparently when your video is processing, part of what YouTube is doing is scanning your video to see if there's any copyright material on it. So you can't get away with it. It's not like you can pop it in there and hope they won't notice. They're gonna notice. That's part of the processing process. So I can't do that, but there is a tiny little snippet of it on my Instagram account if you want to go and watch her singing. That was brilliant. It was a late night, but it was really good. Obviously we're on Easter holidays this week, which means I haven't got guides or brownies, although I have got a guide training evening Monday night, which I need to not forget about. It's the other problem, isn't it? When you're out of routine because you're not doing things, you forget. Now on a Tuesday night, well, it's really boring. Why am I telling you this? But on a Tuesday night, when I get back from guides, it's our bin night on a Wednesday, or bin day on a Wednesday. So Tuesday night, we get back from guides, we put our bins out. The number of times we forget to do that if we're not doing guides on a Tuesday night. It's hysterical. It's like, oh yeah, bin day. Forgot that because didn't do guides last night. Routines, eh? We all thrive on them. We all hate them. We all thrive on them. Anyway, I think that is it for this week. I am going to apologise now for the state of this podcast, because if I can't fix half the stuff in editing that has gone wrong or has been interrupted by kittens or I have misspoken, I dread to think what this is going to be like. It's definitely been one of those podcasts. Anyway, next weekend, of course, is Easter. So I anticipate that I will probably be recording on the Saturday again. I'm not sure. I'm thinking I will probably be cooking a giant meal for lots and lots of people on Easter Sunday. It's very possible. But I've got no plans as yet. I will find out. So I will probably record on the Saturday, although I'm recording on the Saturdays, I won't post it till the Sunday because I think people have got used to me popping up on a Sunday afternoon at some point. Apologies for last week. Don't know what YouTube was doing. It took forever. In fact, I had to delete it and then re-upload it to get it to work. And then by the time it worked, I was out watching Meg doing her singing. So I had one of the classic YouTube thumbnails, which everybody absolutely knows and loves when they're podcasting, because they seem to pick the worst moment to do the thumbnail for. So I did manage to fix it once I got home. It was just like, great, thanks for that, YouTube. So I will post this tomorrow, even though it's recorded on Saturday. So yeah, I will post this tomorrow, even though it's recorded on Saturday. And then next weekend I'll probably do the same. I haven't got any plans as yet next weekend, but I've got a busy family. It could all change, and you know, the moment I stick my head out the door from in here. Anyway, I hope you're all okay. I hope you're all well. I hope you all have a great week, and I will see you next week. Take care. So, little extra bit. This has happened the entire time I've been recording. Somebody has been asleep. Bless her little cotton socks. She slept through the whole thing. So cute. Yeah, this is the mass that is podcasting. Show notes, projects all over the place. That is my setup. My camera normally sits on the top of there. That's my finished objects pile, my socks. And yeah, this is the mess that is podcasting at the end of the podcast. But I thought I'd just show you my little furry co-host who has been asleep through the whole thing. See you next week. Bye.